Yeah, good day, everybody. You are welcome to this channel. Today, we are going to be seeing how we solve linear equations. Most times in mathematics, we solve equations, and also in our daily lives, we look for values of an unknown. That is what we are looking at today. Now, this is solving linear equation. Now, an equation is just a statement that have two different algebra expressions that are equal in value. Like an example, you have an expression here, 4 minus 4x. You have an expression. You have another expression here, 9 minus 12x. These two expressions are equal in value. That's why an equation must always have an equal sign, which is this. Now, how do we solve any equation? Now, we are going to be applying the general rules in mathematics. The general rule is that whatever you do to the right hand side of an equal sign, also do it to the left hand side of an equal sign. But for simplicity, that is when you say you carry plus to this side, it changes to minus. Carry minus from one side to the other, it changes to plus. So that is a simple way to understand it. But what we're actually doing here is adding the same number or the same term to both sides, or subtracting from both sides, or multiplying both sides, or dividing both sides. So let's look at how we do this now. Now we are asked to solve this equation. Now, if you want to solve this equation, if we are collecting like terms here, all the x and the x, we take them to one side. That is, you can decide to take them to the left hand side or the right hand side. Whichever you do, you are still on the right track. So let's take the x to the left hand side. I'll advise my listeners to always take their unknown to the left hand side. So if we do that, this one here is minus 4x. If this one minus 12x comes over to this side, it becomes plus 12x equals, this 9 was there before, then if this plus 4 here comes over to this side, changes to minus 4. So what we actually do here is not that we are carrying this number from one side to the other, but in this case here, we added 12 to both sides. If you add 12 here, you add 12 here, you have this plus 12. These are minus 12x, you now cancel that plus 12 that you added on this side. For us to bring this plus 4 here, because it's a plus here, you must subtract 4 from both sides. Minus 4 from this side, also minus 4 from this side, we'll be having what we are having now. So we added 12s to both sides. We also subtract 4 from both sides. That is why we are having this. But for simplicity, let's look at it as collecting like terms. Now, if you do that, minus 4x plus 12x will give us 8x equals 9 minus 4 will give us 5. So anytime you did this, from what we learned from our subject of formula, this is multiplication, means that we are dividing both sides by 8. So if you divide both sides by the coefficient of x, you have 8. Also divide this side by 8, you have 8. So this 8 goes, you have x equals 5 all over 8. That's our final answer. So that is how you solve for x. In this equation now, the values of this x is 5 all over 8. Now, these are one of the examples. We are going to take more of these examples so that we'll see different ways in which we can solve equations. Now, let's look at the second example. Now, in this example too, we are also looking for t. The unknown here is alphabet t, the letter t. That's why we are asked to solve this equation. Now, you can see the equal sign here. That means we can solve it. Any expression that does not have an equal sign, you can only simplify it, but you cannot solve to get the value of the unknown. But in this case, there's an equal sign there. So let's see how we solve this. Now, this is equation involving fraction. Any equation that involves fractions, you are going to clear your fraction first by taking the time outside the bracket here. Immediately after the bracket, if there is any here, multiplying each of what you have inside your brackets. Use the term outside the bracket and multiply each of what we have inside the bracket. So if we do that here, in this case, it's plus 1 that we are having here. Just an invisible one is here. So we are going to be having 12t plus 1 times this, you still get 1. 1 times this, you get minus 7t equals 31. Now, once we get here, that means we are collecting like terms. Now, let's collect like terms here. If we collect like terms here, we'll be having the t will be on one side, the left-hand side, which is the 12t. And the times with t also is minus 7t. So this one will now give us 31. This is plus 1 here. So it goes back to this side to give us minus 1. So what we are having now is 12t minus 7t. And 12t minus 7t, 12 minus 7 will give us 5t equals 31 minus 1 will give us 30. Yeah, so where we are now, we're almost there, because once we get here, what we needed to do here is to divide both sides by the coefficient of the unknown, which is 5 in this case. So if you divide both sides by 5, you'll be having 5t divided by 5 equals 30 divided by 5. So the 5 goes, t will now be equal to 5 here 1, 5 here is 6. So t will be equal to 6. This is our final answer. That is how you solve that. I hope you do understand that. Now let's take one more example. In this third example, we are going to be seeing how we solve equations involving fractions. Now here, you can see the fraction here. We have a proper fraction, we have a mixed fraction, we also have a proper fraction. What you do, anytime you see a fraction like this and you are having a mixed fraction like this, you make it to be an improper fraction by saying 3 times 1 plus 2. Multiply the denominator and the whole number, then add it to the numerator. So if you do that, you'll be having 3 all over 4x for this, then minus 3 times 1, 3 plus 2, 5 all over 3 equals 2 all over 3x. So after you express it as an improper fraction like this, what you are going to be doing next, anytime you see a fraction and it's either addition or subtraction, anytime, anywhere, what you must do is to look for the LCM. So we are going to be looking for LCM of the denominators. The denominators here are 4, 3, and 3. 4, 3, and 3. So the LCM of 4, 3, and 3 is 4. Therefore, LCM equals 4. So whenever you now get the LCM, and if it is an equation, what you do is that you multiply all through by the LCM. Multiply each of the fraction by the LCM. If it is an equation, if it is an expression, you cannot multiply. You just draw your line as if you are looking for LCM. But in this case, this is an equation, so multiply each of the fraction by the LCM. So we'll be having 12, the LCM, times the first fraction, 3 all over 4x, minus the second one, 12 times 5 all over 3, equals the third one, 12 times 2 all over 3x. So with this now, anytime you do this, it will clear the fraction off. You will now have a linear equation. So this 4 will go everything in the denominator. 4 here 1, 4 here is 3. 3 here 1, 3 here is 4. Then also here, 3 here 1, 3 here is 4. So let's multiply everything that we are having in the numerators together. There is no denominator any longer. So 3 times 3x will give us 9x. 4 times 5 will give us 20 equals 4 times 2x will give us 8x. Yeah, the fraction is cleared. There is no more fraction in what we are solving. So let's collect like terms from here. This x is coming over to this side, while this minus 20 goes over to the right hand side. So that we'll be having 9x. This one comes here, minus 8x. And minus 20 comes here as plus 20. And 9x minus 8x is x equals to 20. So these are final answer. It's as simple as this. All equations are very simple to solve. Just follow these tricks that we are doing now. If it's a linear equation, collect like terms and solve. If it's an equation that is involving fraction like this, open your brackets, collect like terms and solve. If it's an equation that is involving fractions like this, clear your fractions, then collect like terms, then you solve. Now let's look at the final example. Now in this example 4, we want to solve this equation on the board. You can see how it looks like, average bracket and fractions. Now we can express this fraction as this: 2 into 6x minus 1 all of 5. We have expressed this as this now. Also this one equals 3 into 3x plus 2 all over 4. The 4 is the denominator, while the 5 is also the denominator, minus 2. Now the denominators here are 5 and 4, and the LCM of 5 and 4 is 20. So our LCM equals 20. So we are going to be multiplying each of the fraction by the LCM, which is 20. So if we do that, we have 20 times the first fraction, 2 6x minus 1 out of 5, equals 20 times the second fraction, 3 into 3x plus 2 all over 4. Then minus 20 times the last one, 2. So what you can notice here is that each of the terms is being multiplied by the LCM, each of them. So if you do that, we have 5 goes here 1, 5 here 4, 4 here 1, 4 here 5. So we'll be having 4 times 2, that's 8 into 6s minus 1 equals 5 times 3, 15 into 3x plus 2 minus 20 times 2 minus 40. Now we have cleared the fraction. Now let's open our bracket. Let's clear the bracket. 8 times 6 is 48x. 8 times 1 is minus 8. So you can see that we are multiplying each of what we have inside the bracket, each of them by the number outside here. 8 times 6x, 48x. 8 times minus 1 minus 8 equals, we do the same for the second bracket. 15 times 3 is 45x. 15 times plus 2 is plus 30. Then our minus 40. Now with this, we have cleared the brackets. Now we are going to be collecting like terms. Bring the x to the left hand side and take the numbers to the right hand side. Now the x here is 48x. This does not have x, it's not in terms of x. Why this one is in terms of x? So it's coming over to this side and become minus 45x. Now those are the only expression in terms of x. So we are going to be having our equal sign. Then what was there before is 30, then minus 40, then minus 8 is coming to the other side. So it gives us plus 8. Now we can add the like terms together now and subtract. Like in this case, it's 48x minus 45. 48 minus 45 is 3x equals 30 minus 40 is minus 10. Minus 10 plus 8 is minus 2. Now, once we get here, we are almost there. The coefficient of x here will divide both sides by 3. So if we do that, we have a 3x divided by 3 minus 2 divided by 3. The 3 goes. So our final answer will now be x equals minus 2 all over 3. Final answer. So that is how you solve equations involving fractions and brackets. Now with this, now everyone should be able to solve any equation at all. However, the equation is, you should be able to solve it, because when you follow these steps that we have discussed so far, solving any equations will not be a problem. And I'll advise my listener to do that, because my next video will be on word problems. Word problems is just interpreting the words into mathematical equations like we have been doing since. So if you can solve this very well, the only problem you'll be having would just be solving any equation that you are interpreting from the word. So I'll advise you to practice this very well, so that when we are solving word problems, we'll be focused on how to interpret those words into mathematical equations like this, so that we can easily catch up. Now, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment in my comment section. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not done so. With this, I'll meet you in my next video. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.